Alright, here we go. Mr. Nolan's back. So here's a little poem for you. Roses are red, violets are blue. Let's go ahead and get some math work done. How about that? Here we go. So today we're going to be talking about writing equivalents, percents, and fractions. So everyone here has a nice little foldable. Like we talked about yesterday, I'm always hungry, so you can do the hamburger fold, or the math term, I want this nice little horizontal crease. So let's go ahead and fold it nicely. So here we go. Again, we're writing equivalent percents and fractions. The first one we're going to do is from percent to a fraction. So let's go ahead and look at our steps. Step 1 says write percent without percent symbol. Step 2 is write the percent as the numerator over a denominator of 100. Remember, percents are always out of 100. That's why we will have a denominator of 100. You'll see that here in a minute. Step 3 is to simplify your new fraction. So let's see how easy we can make this. So the first one, let's go ahead and do 22%. Well, it says, step 1 says to write the percent without the percent symbol. So 22%, 22. Step 2 says to write the percent as the numerator. So the number given is now the numerator. And you have to put it over a denominator of 100. Remember, percents are always out of 100. Step 3 says to simplify. If you notice, these are both even numbers, so that means they are both divisible by 2. Half of 22 is 11. Half of $1 is 50 cents. That can't be simplified anymore, so there's your answer. Congratulations, you just turned a percent into a fraction and simplified it. That easy. So let's go ahead and do another one. Let's say we have this. Oh, this time I got a decimal in there. A little bit tougher. Okay? So again, step 1, put the number given as the numerator. Since we're turning a percent into a fraction, my denominator is 100. Step 3 would be to simplify. In this case, we got lucky. We cannot simplify. So this is your answer. You're done. Let's try one more. What happens if we had this? 120%. Alright, well, let's see. Again, step 1, start by writing the number given without the percent symbol. Done. Step 2 is to put it over a denominator of 100. Done. Now we just went from percent to fraction. Now we have to take our fraction, and step 3 says to simplify. Well, we're lucky. These can both be divided by 20. So how many $20 bills does it take to give you $120? Let's see. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. So 6 fingers. And it takes 5 $20 bills to give you $100. So if you want to leave your answer as an improper fraction, you can. Or you can also convert it to a mixed fraction. 5 can go into 6 one time, with 1 remaining over 5. Either of those answers are good. Look how easy that was. You just converted a percent to a fraction and simplified it. Nice and easy. Alright, let's go ahead and try the second one. Now this one says, writing equivalent percents and fractions from fraction to percent, and this is method number 1. So it says change the fraction to a decimal by dividing. We also know that as Tybo, top in, bottom out. Write the decimal as a percent. This is what we covered yesterday in yesterday's video. You take the decimal and you move it to the right or to the left, depending on what we're doing. And whenever you do this method, it works every single time. Again, this method will work every single time. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a couple of examples. I'm going to go ahead and do these ones in orange. I'm sorry, this is red. I'm going to go ahead and do it in red. Alright, so let's say we have 5/8. Well, what I'm going to do first is top in, bottom out. Can 8 go into 5? No, it cannot. So add your decimal, add a 0. 8 can go into 50. Let's see, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. 6 times. Can 8 go into 2? No, it cannot, but since I have a remainder, add your 0. 8 can go into 20. 2 times. Can 8 go into 4? No, it can't. Since I have a remainder again, add a 0. 8 can go into 40 5 times. Okay, now we have a decimal. How do you turn a decimal into a percent? What we covered yesterday. Going from decimal to percent, you take your decimal and you move it 2 places to the right. So now you get 62.5, and now add your percent sign. Well, congratulations. You just went from fraction to decimal to percent. You just did 3 conversions there. Fraction, decimal, percent. Nice and easy there. Well, let's say we have this one now. Let's try another one. Let's try 4/5. Again, top in, bottom out. Can 5 go into 4? No, it cannot. Add your decimal, add a 0. 5 can go into 40 8 times. So now we have 0.8. Once again, how do you convert a decimal into a percent? Good. You take your decimal, move it 2 places to the right. 1, 2. I got this open area. Add your 0. Your fraction to a decimal to your percent. Look how easy this is. Let's see if we can do a challenging one though. How's that? You want to try a challenging one? Alright, well let's try this. Ooh-hoo-hoo. So let's see here. Top in, bottom out. Can 10 go into 17? Yes, it can 1 time. Can 10 go into 7? No, it cannot. So I'm going to add a decimal up here and add your 0. 10 can go into 70 though 7 times. Well, now you have a decimal. Convert it to a percent by moving your decimal 2 places to the right. 1, 2. Empty space is a 0. Well, look at that. 170%. Once again, fraction to decimal to percent. Fraction to decimal to percent. Fraction to decimal to percent. This method will work every single time. I can't emphasize that enough. Alright, the last one we have now is from fraction to percent method 2. Write equivalent fractions with a denominator of 100. Step 2 says write the numerator and a percent sign. This method will only work if the denominator is a factor of 100. So what is a factor of 100? Well, 5 can go into 100 evenly. So I'm going to put this, factors of 100. 5 can go in there evenly. 10 can go into 100 evenly. 20 can go in there evenly. 25. What else? Well, 50. There's others, but those are some of the main ones that we will see. So let's go ahead and see if we can do a couple of examples. Alright, so here we go. So let's say we have, let's go with 7 25ths. Well, 25 is a factor of 100, so I'm going to write an equivalent fraction. To get from 25 to 100, what did you multiply by? Multiplied by 4. So 7 times 4 would be 28. Now we have 28 over 100. As a percent, that is just 28%. You're done. Let's try another one. Let's try 3/20ths. Again, this is a factor of 100. So how many $20 bills will give you $100? 5 of them. So multiply by 5. So 3 times 5 would be 15. So we have 15 over 100. As a percent, that would just be 15%. Now I got a question for you. Will this next one work? Will this one work? The answer would be no. This will not work for this method because 8 is not a factor of 100. So this method will not work for this problem. Eight is not a factor of 100. Again, this only works if you have a factor of 100. So let's try one more that will work. Let's try, how about 2/5? Well, 5 is a factor of 100. So to get from 5 to 100, you multiply by 20. So 2 times 20 is 40. 40 over 100 is 40%. Bam! We just went from percents to fractions, and then 2 different ways of going from fraction to percent. Alright guys, I hope this video helps. I will see y'all on the flip side. Talk to y'all later.